Hi everyone, welcome to Maximum Attack Rallying. It is Monday and there is only one topic for today's video, and that is the British Rally Championship that got underway over the weekend with the East Riding stages. Oh, isn't it nice that the BRT is back, and more importantly that it is competitive. We had a good entry list for the event and it did not disappoint with plenty of action, so it seems only fitting that we have a quick chat about what happened there. So if you didn't see the rally, think of this as your quick guide to who did what, and we can only begin with one man, and that man is William Creighton, who put in a dominant display to win the rally, indeed to take his first BRC victory. He was in fine form last season but had switched this year to an MEM Castrol Toyota and looked even better. So last year he finished second in the championship in a Fiesta, didn't win any rallies but looked very consistent. This year he has come straight out of the blocks and he was the man to beat. No one really got near him yesterday. He eventually won the rally by almost 24 seconds over Keith Cronin. He set 7 fastest stage times out of 10 and just looked brilliant. It was a very tricky day. The opening loop in particular was difficult with kind of dry conditions but lots of standing water and mud on the roads, and Creighton just drove away from everyone. He was 4 or 5 seconds a stage faster than anyone and just looked supreme. So it was a very, very good start for him, especially considering he was in a new car that he had not driven too much before the rally. So well done, William Creighton and Liam Regan, his co-driver. Very, very impressive indeed. And I think it's safe to say that they are putting themselves well in contention for the title and look very, very good indeed. Keith Cronin, he was also in a new car in his first outing in a Citroen C3 Rally 2. He was supposed to do the Galway Rally as his first round of his Irish tarmac title defence, but that was postponed due to weather conditions. So this was his first outing in the car. A steady-ish run, he didn't go too crazy, wanted to settle himself into the car, and he did a great job, did exactly what he needed to do. His BRC charge last year got off to a very bad start, so this year was just about consistency and getting strong points on the board, which he did with second place. And in third spot, we had James Williams in a Hyundai i20, a good result for him on MRF tyres for the first time. So a very, very impressive podium, but it wasn't a simple one. While Creighton dominated at the front, there was plenty of battling going on behind him for those podium places. I think perhaps the biggest threat at one point was Gary Pearson in the M Sport Fiesta. He looked in contention. He was second fastest on the first stage and was well in the mix, but then on the final stage of the morning loop he had a minor little off, did some damage, and that dropped him down to 4th place. Unfortunately for him, it would get worse in the afternoon. I think it was on stage 8 he went off the road and into retirement, so not a great start to his campaign. Also in the wars was Max McRae. His rally ended in retirement as well. Another driver making a debut in a new car, also in a Citroen. So he was doing okay. He was in the top 6 in the morning, but in the final stage, stage 4 of the morning loop, he went off the road, did some damage to the Citroen, but more importantly, he was concerned that he had injured his wrist, so he decided to withdraw from the event and went off to hospital to get himself checked out. So if you are struggling, Max, get well soon. Not a bad debut pace-wise. Hopefully we'll see more from Max as the season goes on. It was no great surprise that there were a few incidents, to be honest. As I said, the stages in the morning were tricky, to be honest. It was dry and the roads did dry out as the field went through, but there was a bit of standing water, a bit of mud on the road, and obviously as the first cars went through and took a few cuts, they were pulling more mud onto the road, so that did make it quite difficult to judge. A few other people suffered. James Ford went off on the very first stage. He spun his Citroen into the hedgerows and got stuck in a ditch, so that was the end of his day. It was a tricky one. Just a quick mention of those outside the podium finishes in the top 6. We had in 4th place the second Castrol Toyota of Marion Evans. Decent result for him. He was also in the fight for the podium. Who else did we have? We had the reigning national asphalt champion Callum Black. He was in 5th place, so a decent start from him. And in 6th was Romain Jurgensen, the other Works M Sport driver. That was his first ever asphalt rally, I do believe. So he did okay, not a bad start for the junior WRC champion. Hopefully we will see more from him as the season goes on. So At the top, it was very, very interesting and a very good battle. And I think the signs are very much there for a season-long fight. But I think there are some other things that we should just touch on in terms of the classes. So let me just do a quick run through of the class results. In the junior BRC, it was very much an Irish affair. It was at the top of the leaderboard, in fact, wasn't it, with Creighton and Creighton, but the juniors is very much dominated by Motorsport Ireland Academy drivers. We had one British driver in there amongst all the Irish guys, all in Peugeot 208 Rally 4s. Craig Grayhill took an early lead. He was dominant in the morning, and I think he went into the service halt at lunchtime with almost a 12-second lead, but then Kyle McBride put the hammer down in the afternoon. Ray Hill lost, I think it was around 15 seconds on stage 8, and that allowed McBride into the lead, which was a lead he would retain, so he took junior honours. In BRC 3, there was just one entrant, Robert Proudlock. He's the reigning junior British champion. He was the sole Rally 3 Fiesta, so he took class honours there. Hopefully he'll get a bit more competition as the year goes on, because he doesn't want to just be battling himself. That's no fun, is it? Megan O'Kane won Rally, the BRC 4 category in an R2 Fiesta. Then in the national section, we had Rob Cotton. He was making his BRC debut in a new Impreza. He won the national, and then Sam Tuzel topped the open category in a Rally 2 Fiesta. So I think that covers all of the classes. There was lots and lots going on, some really good battles across the field in a very, very difficult set of conditions. It was, as I said, it was dry-ish in the morning, but in the afternoon the rain came and obviously brought its own challenges, though some crews, I do believe, said that it helped because it was at least a bit more consistent in grip terms. But it was definitely a challenge. The roads of East Yorkshire delivered in that respect, and I think we have to say that it was a very, very good event, and it is worth a very quick congratulations, not just to all of the crews, but to the organisers, and perhaps most importantly of all, the marshals that stood out in the cold and the damp all day. We would not be here if it was not for them. So overall, I think it was a very good event. It looked very well organised, and I have seen some positive feedback in that respect. So very, very nice to see that the BRC got off to a flyer. There is just one, I had one little niggle that I do just want to mention, and that is the coverage. And it's just a bit strange, and maybe there are contractual reasons for it, but it is worth a mention. It's just a bit of a shame that, so in the UK, we have a broadcaster called Special Stage, and they cover a lot of national rallying, and they were covering this rally because it is part of the Pro Tyre National Asphalt Championship. And it's just a shame that that small broadcaster can put out live stage feeds, and they're doing it on YouTube, on Facebook, so they're running live coverage from the stages, as well as live stage end interviews with their team. And then the British Championship itself is only doing live stage end feeds on Facebook only. And it just seems a bit weird. I know we've got the ITV deal, and maybe that comes into it. Maybe there's some contract in place there to prevent it, but it just seems a bit strange that our premier rally championship, the best championship in the UK, is doing a lower level of streaming coverage and content than the national Asphalt Championship. To me, that just seems a bit of a strange one, and I wish there was a way that we could kind of figure that out so that the BRC was streaming live from stages, because that would be really, really nice to see. Yes, you could see the BRC crews on the National Asphalt coverage by Special Stage, but it's just a bit of a weird one, isn't it, for me? So I don't know, I would love to see that fixed so we were seeing some stage side action streamed live from the BRC on their channels and not just on Special Stage. But I don't want to be too negative, because overall it was a very, very good event indeed, and I very much enjoyed watching the coverage, so well done to the Special Stage team for putting that stage footage out there. I know it must be a massive undertaking, so that was great to see. Is there anything, do you have any feedback? Did you watch? Did you not watch? Do you care? Do you not care? Let me know who impressed you over the weekend in the comments below. As always, make sure you follow me over on socials and like and subscribe, because lots of you who watch this are not subscribers, and I would love you to be subscribers. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.